So yeah, I failed. So back when starting this YouTube channel, I was trying out these different health challenges, or diets you could say, and I also committed to the goal of having a visible six-pack by the age of 30, and I failed. My 30th birthday was back in February this year, and boy, I mean, it's been a rough journey. I got off track with my health and fitness goals, and I think this is something that isn't talked about enough, how truly difficult it can be to lose weight and keep it off. I know firsthand that it can be a roller coaster of just gaining weight, losing, gaining and losing over and over again, and the process can become quite discouraging and even depressing at times. Not to mention, there's this information overload online of all the different ways that you can lose weight. I personally found it to be quite overwhelming, and also it just makes it more difficult to focus on one thing instead of so many things at once. Because I think that we all have the right intentions. We want to lose weight, we want to find a sustainable approach, but we have so much information, this information overload. So it's like, geez, how do we go about focusing on one thing at a time when we're told so many things? And also, if you're like me, I find it very difficult to stay in a calorie deficit because I'm not exactly doing it the right way, I don't think. I'm restricting way too much, and trying to do that over the long term can have some pretty awesome, sarcastic, air quotes there, effects for your brain and body. It just makes you very fatigued, low energy, and makes getting through the day so much more difficult. Not to mention the huge sugar cravings and the binge-like eating after you go restricting yourself for that period of time. So, what can we do about it? For me and my weight loss journey, previously I lost 70 pounds. I used to weigh 270 pounds, and I got down to 200 pounds. Recently in this year, I got down to, I believe, 180, but I've gained that back, and I'm not very close to a visible six-pack. I still have quite a bit of fat around my belly, my gluteus maximus, and legs. So anyway, that's my position, but I have lost a significant amount of weight in the past, and there are some things, some strategies that I want to share with you today. It's my hope, friends, that you can use these 5 tips to get back on track with your health goals, and also I've tried to include tips that aren't too crazy. They should not be overwhelming, and hopefully something that you can implement on a regular basis. Okay, tip number 1 for you, friends, is to start with a small daily habit that you know you can 100% accomplish. This could look like going on a brief walk after you eat lunch each day. Just that one small habit, just do that consistently. Start with doing it consistently for a week, and then go from there. Another example is getting to bed just 20 to 30 minutes earlier. And a personal favorite of mine is I've been trying to add protein with every meal and just overall increase my protein intake throughout the day. So why do I suggest 1? It's because going back to that information overload, it's hard for us, especially with everything going on in our lives, balancing work, life, family. It can become extremely difficult to focus on that many more things pertaining to your health. So if you start with one small thing and get that into your unconscious behavior, you get that into a habit, right? Then you can focus on something else. And the great thing about starting small is that consistency is much easier, and that consistency, those small acts over time, will lead to momentum, and that will help progress you forward and help keep you on track. And number 2, find exercises that you enjoy, aka they make you feel very good. So that's the point there, focusing on the way you feel. For example, some people like to be in a group setting, right, when they exercise. I personally love playing basketball with friends. I find it very fun and oftentimes don't think of it as an actual workout. I personally love lifting weights, and I enjoy running. So for this tip number 2, start by writing down a few different exercises that you enjoy and then implement those first. Tip number 3, this one is so crucial, friends, to help you get back on track with your health. We have to find ways to keep ourselves motivated and accountable. I found that by having this YouTube channel, I have been so much more accountable and stayed on track with my fitness goals. And although it is humbling, it does take a level of humility to do this, but reaching out to a loved one or to a friend and just sharing where you're at with your current health goals and having an accountability buddy. So this is something that I just tried out with one of my amazing friends, and it turned out to be so cool, so much better than I expected. Instead of me just sharing my progress, but also kind of getting down about the lack of progress I've been making, this friend of mine is very encouraging, and he is a diligent gym goer as well. So he's been sharing his workouts with me, and it's been so motivating to see that I'm not alone in this journey towards better health, and we've been able to bounce ideas off each other by seeing each other's workouts. Signing up for some sort of event is also very motivating. In the past, I did a sprint triathlon, and the preparing for that race was very exciting. So if you can find something that you want to sign up for, I definitely recommend doing so. And tip number 4 is very important for the way we view food and improving our relationship with it. which is think of food as fuel or energy for your body. Even if you can implement a little bit more nutrient-dense whole foods that have fiber, you will notice a drastic change in your energy levels. I found that by doing so, my energy levels have been higher and also more sustainable throughout the day. From experience, I know that it's not fun to be in starvation mode, especially over a long period of time. So it doesn't have to be that way. Let's focus on minimally processed or zero processed foods, which will provide more sustainable fuel or energy for your body and mind. I personally love this change in mindset too because it's focusing on something good for your body, such as meat, fish, vegetables, eggs, and fruit. Focusing on these whole foods is wonderful instead of always restricting and thinking, oh, I can't have this, I can't have that. So it's good to have more of that bountiful mindset, you could say. And number 5 is also so important and involves our mindset. It is to take on a new identity. This is something I've been trying out recently and I found it to be very motivating. So essentially, I have it written down the type of person I want to be, including the type of physique I want to have. And then I say that in the present tense. And then the best thing about this, friends, is that throughout the day, you need to remind yourself of that new identity. Even if you don't see it in the mirror yet, that's totally fine. But if you keep reminding yourself of that new identity. For example, you could say, I am ripped with a six-pack and I eat clean most of the time. Then when we're going throughout our busy days, there will be choices, there will be options available to us. You can have a cookie, you can have something else. And when you remind yourself of that identity, and it's crucial here with those daily choices to ask yourself, does this align with my new identity? That alone, that question really boosts my confidence and helps me make the correct decision. Now be careful here. With this new identity, do not become over restrictive or over extreme. I'm not saying by any means to cut out all sweets entirely. If you can just limit them, that's a great thing. That's a wrap for the 5 sustainable habits that I hope we can implement when re-kickstarting our weight loss journey. If you're looking for more sustainable weight loss advice with tips on how to enjoy your weight loss journey, please click that subscribe button and I will see you next video. Bye-bye.